Hi, it's Rob the Frugalist here, and today we're going to be looking at a couple of ways to make your own firelighters. Why might you want to make your own firelighters? Well, firelighters are pretty cheap, but what if you've run out? What if you don't want to pay for them? What if you just want to experiment with something new or reduce your waste? So we're going to look at two techniques to do that. I'm going to do it over 2 days. So we're just going to start off with one, see how it burns, and then I'm going to film another one, see how it burns. The first technique is using bacon fat. Actually, you can use beef fat, which is tallow, or any other kind of fat you can probably try with. But we're going to look at bacon fat because that's what I've got to hand. So I've taken it out of the fridge. So I've saved some up. So you do need a little bit of preparation for this. And I've got some newspaper here. And what I'm going to do is spread this on the newspaper, roll it up, and use those as fire starters. Sounds simple, doesn't it? Well, there's a little bit of idea behind this in that because we roll it up in the newspaper, it should act as a bit of a wicking agent, a little bit like a candle, so it won't just go woof in one fell swoop, so to speak, in a blaze of glory. But it's going to actually burn a little bit longer, and that'll be enough to get the fire going. Okay, let's go. So you've got a little pot of fat here. Got a couple of newspaper sheets ready to go. I'm just going to do 2 sheets. And I'm going to spread them up, roll them up. You'll see how it happens, and we're going to see how effective it is on the fire. So a couple of spoons, probably a bit too much on each. And if you have the same with beef, tallow, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to spread it. Seems disgusting, but it's probably going to smell magnificent because there's nothing quite like the smell of bacon. Causes many vegetarians to backslide. And it doesn't have to be perfect. We're creating something that we're going to burn, not something that's going to be art. This is rolling up. I'm going to fold it in half, pinch it together. That's one done. Doesn't look like much, does it? So I've got 2 firelighters here. I'm going to squeeze them together, get that fat into all of the bits of paper. It's better if it just gets absorbed a little bit, and it's best if this is not so cold. So if you've got your fat in the fridge, take it out for an hour or so before doing this. Right, let's go and see how this works. So the newspaper technique didn't seem to work as well. I think from observing it, the newspaper burnt up a bit too quickly before the fat was really able to take hold. So I'm going to try something a little bit different now, an iteration on that, which will be using a square paper towel. I didn't want to use it because you usually have to pay for those, but we'll see how that one goes in just a second. Okay, this one's going a lot better. So what we might have noticed in this was that the fat was more absorbed by the paper towel, and that probably helped the wicking effect. And hopefully we'll see that move, but it's only really taken on just now, so it'll take a while. So we've got a little bit more success with this. So no to the newspaper, that's right to ignite, but to retain a bit more heat, paper towels work best. And zooming in a bit, you can just about see there, that's the paper towel, and there's a white bit that's not burning. Reasons why it's not burning is because the fat's burning instead, so it's sort of wicking it up a bit. So this is why it's taking a lot longer to actually burn, and therefore more chance to set the rest of the kindling alight and give us a good fire. Okay, success on that one. So what did we learn? We learned that paper towel's better than newspaper, probably because of that wicking effect. It wasn't a perfect test because the newspaper was still in there. However, I think, as I've done this once before with the paper towel, that is quite promising for doing your homemade firelighters. So the first bit of advice is, yeah, you can use bacon fat and paper towel, but probably not newspaper because it's just the composition of it, I think. Next, we're going to try something slightly different. Hi, the second technique we got today, something I've heard of, is to use a toilet roll and wax and some sawdust, and you just mix it all together and stick it on the fire. That's what I'm thinking. So I'm going to try that one out. So I've got the sawdust here, I've got some wax. This is literally coming from the side of a candle, and I'm basically going to mix it in there. I think the idea behind this is that when it gets hot, the wax then melts with the sawdust and sort of provides that kind of wicking effect, which means the firelighter will stay on for a bit longer. I've never done this before. I'm figuring if you need a degree to do it, then it's probably not worth doing. But if you can just sort of make it up using a technique like this and it works, then it's quite handy if you need to make a firelighter in a short period of time. So let's see how this goes. I'm going to just there we go, put this right in the middle. So we've got the sawdust in the middle, I've got the wax down the middle as well, and I'm going to break up this old wax and sort of litter it around it, and I'm going to roll it. So, and the idea is that it gets held together like so. It's like some kind of, I don't know, I might have done this a bit too big, but you get the idea. And stick an old receipt in the top. I was going to stick an old receipt in the top, I'll just stick it in the side. And there we have a really simple fire lighter that looks a tiny bit like a stick of dynamite or something. So let's find out how this one works for us. There we go. So this has taken 3 goes to get going, and it's possibly me more than the technique itself. But I'm looking at it, and now it's beginning to take hold as intended. But initially it just went whoosh and turned off, as you can see from the footage. Now it seems to be going. Let's see if this develops into something decent. There we go, it's finally heated up to the point of the fans moving. This one took a lot longer than the other one, and it's possible that I didn't get some of the amounts right potentially. It took me 3 goes to ignite it, but when it got going, you kind of knew it was eventually going to get there in the end, which is the idea of a fire lighter, is you kind of fire and forget. So thinking about this compared with the other one with the bacon rolled in the square, that was probably best for me. This one, it was fun to make, but it just took a long time to get the fan going and fully up and heated. In all honesty, I think lots of paper and some kindling is perfectly fine to start a fire. But if you want to make your own fire lighters, that's 2 ways you can do it. If you know of some better ways that don't involve stuff that you purchase, then do let us know in the comments. Really interested in trying them out. I'm still learning at this. I've never done half this stuff before, and but then if I can do it, then you can do it, and that's the idea of this channel. And yeah, let us know in the comments what you think, what you've tried and what you've learned. But I don't really think you need fire starters, I think, or fire lighters rather. I think you can just pack it with something like newspaper and twigs, i.e. kindling, and it'll eventually take on. All at once is great. I don't like the little pilot light effect that we get with some of these things. Anyway, I hope this was hope this was useful for you, and yeah, until next time, see ya.